How's everybody doing tonight? Woo! So I just want to note before I start that I work at Abernathy Elementary teaching art after school, and I saw some of my parents here tonight. I hope you guys like me after this on Monday. But I just want to share with you guys, last week I taught myself how to quilt. So, woo! Grandma achievement unlocked, right? Now it's Netflix and quilt. Yeah. But, no, so I've been, apart from being horrified, I've been kind of entertained watching an older white male lose his emotional shit in the White House. Because, A, I told you so, Trump voters. Hashtag male fragility. I love when men throw tantrums when I explain what male fragility is. It's like, you're doing it. You're doing it. Right? But also, when I was like a little white trash kid growing up in Missouri, all the men in my life would say things like, oh, if a woman ever got in the White House, she'd just bleed all over everything. Every 28 days, we'd have a war. Let's just talk about this for a second. So, I've never seen a woman in America lie to start a war or make up fake phrases like weapons of mass destruction to start a war. Just BTW. But also, right? But also, let's talk about menstruation for a second. So, humans with uteruses bleed once, sometimes more than once a month, because uteruses be crazy. One time, I outbled the Olympics when they first put me on birth control. 3 weeks, you guys. 3 weeks. But that's a different story. No, so you bleed anywhere from 1 to 4 days or 1 to 7 days. And so while you're bleeding, we're just expected to act like everything's cool. Right? Like, it's Shark Week up in that business. And we're just supposed to be like, oh yeah, things are chill. It's fine. So my question to those older men is, have you guys ever not responded fast enough to a dude on social media or a dating website? Because like some dude will come on a dating website and enter with a really cool like, hey. And then you're like, oh shit, I forgot that I had OkCupid. Oh God, okay, so you write him back like, hey, I'm not really looking for anything right now, but like, have a good night. And then you get back this response, oh, you bitch, I hate your whole family, oh, go die. You're doing it. You're doing it. I just want to know if those men have ever experienced that. Like, there's this page on Facebook that I like called Exposing Men's Rights Activism, and they shared They shared a tweet the other day that pretty much just said all of what I just said, but more like poetically. And some of the comments on there were like, men don't overreact, this is crazy, you're all bitches. Like, you're creating stereotypes, and I don't like it. Like, angry face, like, it's cool. And the whole time they're writing that, I'm sitting at home bleeding, eating a little bit of extra chocolate. And it's like, get your shit together, Carol. So, but no, let's talk about my other favorite fallacy. So, we live in a country that openly hates fat people. Right? Like, it's considered, right? It's considered a moral failing if you're fat. It's not the failing of a multi-industrial company, multimillionaires who can make your size of pants, but they just don't. It's your fault if you can't find your size of pants at the store. I'm a beautiful fat woman, in case you guys haven't noticed. Thank you. I don't like to say beautiful and fat very often because I don't like to be redundant. But I just hate that about our country. It's always like, fat people. They're always like the butt of jokes. They're in political cartoons. It's just not cool. So I'm going to tell you a story about a time when fat for me was pretty cool. So when I was 16 years old, growing up in Missouri, one morning in French class in high school, my stomach was really itchy. And so, you know how you itch an itch and it's just like it itches more, but this was even more itchy than I was just so itchy. And so I asked my teacher, I was like, "Professeur, j'ai fait pipi." And this teacher, who I should add, called one person or a whole group of people, no matter either or, she always called us sweet children. So I was like, "Professeur, j'ai fait pipi." And she was like, "Oh, sweet children, j'ai fait pipi, go, go." So I go to the bathroom, I lift up my shirt, and there's like this series of blisters and kind of like a half arc on my belly, and it's like, oh, that's weird. And so being an impulsive teenager, of course, I like itched them all away, you know, and that helped the pain for that day, but the next couple of days, my skin started to cave in where the blisters were. And my mom and I were kind of like, well, that's not good. And so I went to the doctor the next week for like an unrelated thing, like a physical or something. And, you know, being in a country that refuses to get universal health care, I decided to talk to the doctor about this while I was also there. You know, it's like, ask the doctor everything before you leave so we don't have to get charged again. So I was like, "Doctor, what's with this weird thing on my belly?" And he was immediately like, "That's a brown recluse bite." Right. So just in case you don't know what brown recluses are, they're really poisonous spiders that colloquially, it's like they have a fiddle on their belly and that's how you know what they are. And like, I've never lifted one up to see the fiddle, but like, I've seen pictures, so it makes sense. But like, when they bite you, their poison like zombifies your cells and they just start to die. So the doctor's like, "That's a brown recluse bite." And I was like, "Oh. So, like, how come I haven't died yet?" And he was like, this doctor, like, delivered me into the world. He's known me since day 0 to now I'm 16. And all of a sudden, he gets really formal on me. He's like, "Well, Katie, when spiders bite, you know, people that die from spider bites, it's usually like a hand or an arm or a leg. The spider bit you where there's a little bit more tissue." And I was like, "Wait, are you saying that being fat saved my life?" And the doctor was like, "I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying that." And I was like, "Cool, being fat saved my life." Yeah, so here, I'll just show you guys. If you would like to see my scar after the show, totally feel free. But I just want to say that the thing about fat women is we are impervious to spider bites. We're superheroes every time we bleed. And we're impervious to society's standards for body size. Thank you so much.